Welcome to the Worst of the Riot for 2023, episode 2, where we look back at some of our highlights, or some would say lowlights, from the past year. Today, I see that with Nikki, we celebrate Jim's second birthday. That means his third birthday is coming up here pretty soon, right?
It is.
Have you
Not
started
too far
planning?
away. Never. And in this special episode, Jim actually joins the riot in studio.
Oh, that's right. He did come in.
What a crazy day that was.
Yeah, that was exciting. We also, I couldn't believe this was less than a year ago. We talk about my neighbor that had a rooster, and I now can say had, because when this occurred, it was the first incident with the rooster. Then that rooster disappeared. Then another rooster showed up. Now that rooster seems to be gone too. So,
Or maybe inside for the winter.
I think it's worked out. I think it's worked out in my favor.
We also talk
Not
about
in the roosters.
We also talk about 4-day work weeks, weird reasons to end a date, and much more.
And which man is the perfect 10? Spoiler alert, it's neither of us. Enjoy.
Catch you next time.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot, RadioU.
The audacity of criminals these days, and just of men, is outrageous. Some people think that men only have one thing on their mind, but I see here that they have two things. Women, obviously, and money. And those two come into conflict. Listen to this. A woman in Indianapolis, your old stomping grounds, was accosted, robbed allegedly at gunpoint by a man named Damian Boyce. This woman had gone out. Her name is Amber. She went out to get her mail early in the morning after she had just gotten home from work. And this guy comes at her holding a gun saying, give me all the money you got, basically, you know. But he sees her. He sees that she's a fine, attractive young woman. And he says, go ahead and add me on Facebook, won't you?
Oh,
Send
no.
me a friend request.
Damien, no.
At gunpoint. He sends her. He says,
Seems
send
a bit
me
aggressive.
Yeah.
Usually I just ask for their name, but goodness gracious.
And so she did it. She sent him a friend request. To her, she said, I thought maybe if I added him on Facebook, he would leave. And he did. So he got $100 of cash and a new Facebook friend.
Is that a win for him? Is that a win? Is that a good Tuesday?
I think he felt
$100 and a Facebook ad.
he was feeling okay at the moment. He was actually feeling so good about how it all went down that he wound up sliding into her DMs, her Facebook DMs from
After
there.
robbing her, correct?
After robbing her.
Yeah,
after the
wow.
fact. Allegedly, this is all alleged technically.
Yeah, of course.
But he says to her that she was too fine to rob in the DMs. Too fine to rob.
Oh, he's smooth, too. He's got that criminal riz.
He says, look, just know I'm going to pay you back. It's a messed up way to meet, but you were too pretty to rob.
Dang, now that's one way to slide in.
That's smooth, right?
That's one way to make yourself memorable. I mean, boys, they say be memorable. Make yourself real unique.
Holding a woman up at gunpoint. That's a memorable way to do it for
and
sure.
And then slide in the DMs just hours later. You was too fine to rob.
She will never forget that.
I'm going to pay you back, I swear.
It doesn't end there. She says at this point, I guess I don't know why you would engage, but she says...
She wants to play it along, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, he's not holding a gun to your head now. But she said, I believe you. I can tell you're sweet. Times just got tough for everybody I know. That's a nice thing to say. It's a nice thing to say, to still have that kind of compassion in your heart for somebody
and then she called the police
who robbed you at gunpoint. Yeah, she did.
And then she calls the police on him.
But he went on to say he feels like a total jerk. I swear I got you. What's your Cash App tag?
Oh, no.
He said, for real, I'm shifty. We had to meet up on those terms. Chill with me. I swear I'm not on that type of timing.
Shut up. He did not say that.
That's what he said.
Hey, baby, I know I just robbed you. I know I just robbed you at gunpoint, but I swear I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Give me your Cash App right now. I'll go ahead. I'll send you.
I got
I'll send you 50. I'll send you a quick 50 for robbing you. No, I think that's pretty wild. I mean, yet again, the confidence. You know what? I can only respect the confidence.
Yeah.
What more?
I don't know. I feel like having a gun gives you a lot of confidence. a lot of
but then
unearned
following
confidence.
Following up and being like, hey, I know I just robbed you, but maybe you're still into me. Like, that's wild confidence. Like, for you to just meet somebody and DM them, like, you're assuming they might be attracted to you. You usually don't DM people that are way out of your league, right? And so for you to DM someone that you just robbed and think that you have a chance, I mean, that's crazy confidence. That's the kind of confidence that you could just walk into a gas station and try to rob somebody confidence. That's what I'm talking about. That's some crazy confidence.
I don't know where he thought this would end, but I'll tell you that she was able to shake him by admitting that she had a boyfriend and also reporting him to the police. So, yeah, he's been picked up on some charges there.
Tough way to go down there, David.
Yeah, not the way he probably hoped that would turn out.
You know what? It's that criminal riz. It gets you in trouble. What can I say?
The good news is the Riot is on vacation now. The bad news is that doesn't mean you get a break from them. This is the Riot's Worst of 2023.
It's our Thursday tradition at Choice Champions. Get that texting number ready, 8772 RadioU. Here's how it works. Isaiah and I taking turns. We are going to draft 3 picks each, snake draft style. The best things. Today, our topic is things from the frozen food aisle. Brand specific. And then it will be up to you to decide. You can evaluate both of our teams, 3 picks each. Which selection of frozen food options is better?
I'm excited. I feel like I've got some good picks here lined up. Some good options, some good backups.
Yeah.
But I think that if I can get my choices here, if I pick the picks I want to pick, it's gonna be looking good.
You got a lot of confidence.
Feel pretty good about
despite the fact that so far, as long as we've done Choice Champions, I believe I'm undefeated.
That's a self-proclaimed undefeated.
I've never lost.
I don't know about all that.
And I also happen to have the first pick. I can choose anything from the frozen food aisle.
It's a lot of pressure here because
lot of pressure.
2 and 3 are planned out for me, so I'm feeling really good.
I am going with, and I don't know if I'll steal this from you or not. I feel like it's probably unlikely to be on your list because I feel like it might not have even been something that crossed your mind. You might forget this is a frozen food aisle option. I am taking with the number 1 overall pick, Steakums.
Steakums?
Steakums.
The wild thing is I don't even know what that is.
Like Philly cheesesteak. The frozen, the slight, what do you call it? Sandwich steaks. Look up Steakum. It's a Philly cheesesteak. It's just the meat, the flat piece of meat.
Interesting choice. This is a wild pick.
Oh, but they're good.
Are they good? I've never seen these before.
You've never seen them?
I've never seen them.
They're
but
usually,
I'm sure people love them.
Yeah. Oh, they're great. They are great. And that's why I was asking you before, do you get, like, if it's something that you wouldn't just eat the way it comes? Obviously, like, if you draft a frozen pizza, that's just the way it is. But if you draft Steakums, they would come with the bun, right?
Yeah.
And, like, that's included. That's assumed. And so, yeah, I'm going Steakums number 1.
So it's just steak.
Yeah.
It's just like frozen steak meat?
Yes, cheesesteak
okay,
meat.
Gotcha.
Yeah, cheesesteak meat.
I'm with it.
Is the number 1 pick.
It's a good number 1.
It sure is.
I'm going to follow it up with 2 and 3. I'm going to do the double combo. I'm going to do the back-to-back. It's bagel bites and it's pizza rolls. I'm taking them both.
You're going double pizza, but you're not actually taking a pizza.
I'm doubling down bagel bites and pizza rolls. That way there's an array of people that enjoy those. If you don't like pizza rolls, you know what you like? You like bagel bites. If you don't like bagel bites, you know what you like? You like pizza rolls, and one of those 2 is probably your favorite.
If we have an audience of 9-year-olds, I think you'll do really well. But
hey, everybody was 9 once.
Yeah, that's right.
Some of us still eat like we're 9.
And then
Look at me.
we've grown up, and we've got more mature tastes. I'll tell you, though, the next thing I'm going with, you can't do a frozen food aisle draft without picking something from the dessert section, from the, what do they call it, novelties. Good humor chocolate eclair bars.
Oh, that's what you're going with.
Love those. Out of all, if you give me the whole choice of the ice cream section, that's what I would choose.
Got it.
Love them.
It's a good choice.
I get one more pick, don't I?
You do. You go back to back here.
I'll also take State Fair corn dogs.
Okay, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that you picked so far that I agree with.
Never miss.
It's a good choice.
All right, you got the last pick.
I'm going to wrap it up with the good olds. This is another one that, yet again, you're going to throw the 9-year-old pick in my face. It's okay. I'm going to just go ahead and triple down with it. I have bagel bites already. I have pizza rolls. And what makes it better than if I just finish it off with Uncrustables? Some Uncrustables. You walk through that aisle, whether you want them or not, you look at them every single time and you wish you could buy them. But sometimes you can't. You can't do it.
Yeah. Well,
bagel bites, pizza rolls, Uncrustables.
All right, bang for your buck. I don't know if the Uncrustables are ever the way to go, but I mean, can't disagree that they're good. They are good. I thought you were going to go Hot Pockets of some kind.
No, that would have been to triple down on pizza. Are you crazy?
So
I did have other things I considered. We can go over our other considerations next.
Yeah. We also had to get all these votes coming in at 8772 Radio U. Quick recap. I've got Steakums. I've got Good Humor Chocolatey Claire bars. And I've got State Fair corn dogs. Isaiah?
I've got bagel bites. I've got pizza rolls. And I've got Uncrustables.
8772 Radio U. Who wins Choice Champions today?
This isn't the worst thing anyone did this year, but it is the worst thing that anyone did on The Riot. 2023's Worst of the Riot.
Doing Choice Champions. Isaiah and I have each selected our team of frozen foods, and it's up to you to decide who chose a better selection. Choice, whatever, I don't know. 8772 Radio U. My team is Steakums, State Fair corn dogs, and Good Humor Chocolatey Claire bars. I've got a meal, an appetizer kind of deal or side, and then I've got a dessert. Isaiah has
bagel bites, pizza rolls, Uncrustables. I mean, you're eating those at any time, any day. Could be 2 a.m. You're eating those.
Yeah.
9 a.m. in the morning. Hey, pop open one. Midnight, whatever it is, you're eating those.
I'm looking at the text here. Jocelyn texted in. She's on your team. She texted in before we even finished the draft.
Oh, she knew off the rip.
She must really love bagel bites.
She loves the bagel bites pizza roll combo. It's a 1-2 punch like no other.
Yeah. Justin texted in. He says that when you're a parent, you have kids, you wind up eating what the kids eat, and it's pretty good. So that brings him to your team of childhood foods, Uncrustables, and the like. Now, however, I do have to say that D is on my side. She says not only can you use Steakums to make Philly cheesesteaks, you can also use them for tacos, quesadillas. They actually have myriad uses. Yeah.
Versatile.
And they are delicious. So I've got D on my side. I've also got Jay, who said it was a close one, but State Fair corn dogs win it.
Fair.
That's on my team. That's on my team. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. Let's see. Chad is going with you, Isaiah, because of the Uncrustables.
Uncrustables are always going for the win.
Tim says he's voting for the 9-year-olds team.
That is me.
That would be Isaiah. Kendrick, for the corn dogs alone, going with Hudson.
Hey, the corn dogs, when you spit them, I knew that was going to be a winner.
That's a crowd pleaser. Yours is all crowd pleasers. I just think mine is more, it's a complete meal. It's it's definitely not healthy for you, but it feels like something an adult would eat.
Well, the frozen food aisle isn't really a healthy place for you to even visit. If you're eating healthy, you're not even walking down it.
Not unless you're getting bird's eye corn or something like that. And that wasn't on our list. You got anything that what was close and missed the cut for you?
Some of the ones that I considered, I was right there considering swapping Uncrustables and Texas toast.
Texas toast, huh?
Like that New York Texas toast. We all know the box. I don't even have to talk about the box. We know what I'm talking about. I love Texas toast. That's like a childhood one for me. My mom used to make it all the time. Texas toast was right there for me. The other ones that I considered dessert.
Yeah, you have to.
I considered dessert, but
you eschewed the ice cream aisle completely.
I know. I thought about it, and I assumed you were going to take one of mine, but you didn't take either of the ones that I wanted.
I could have gone all ice cream. I probably would have won. But it wouldn't feel right. It would feel hollow. I would have went with Snickers ice cream bars. Those are right there.
Oh,
they're great.
And then I thought you might pick those because they're such a number one for the ice cream food aisle.
They're a great choice.
And if you didn't go with that, I was going to go with drumsticks. Were the other ones I was considering. So if I did ice cream, I would have went with one of those two. I would not have won Good Humor, so that was yours all along.
Yeah.
But Texas Toast was the other one I was considering.
I also thought about some good choices are some kind of like, I don't even know what the brand would be, but like you get Chinese food, orange chicken or General Tso's chicken. That'd be great. Those are fantastic.
Wild choice.
I also considered, it feels crazy that we did this whole draft and didn't have pizza. We didn't have an actual bona fide frozen pizza.
Frozen pizza, yeah.
But I just couldn't decide on a brand. And again, I wouldn't choose a frozen pizza over the things I did choose. But Screamin' Sicilian and Home Run Inn, both great. For even DiGiorno, not a bad option. A few more votes coming in. Kimberly is going with the 9-year-old team, going with you and your Uncrustables. Abby says Isaiah, Pizza Forever. And another Kimberly says She's eating everything in Hudson's frozen food shopping cart. So
There
yet
you go.
again, somehow, against all odds, it seems that I've won.
What are you talking about? You've won. I've so clearly won. I've won.
It was a close call, but as the host, I have no choice but to declare myself the
Anybody
winner.
counting these votes?
2024 can't get here soon enough. 2023's Worst of the Riot.
Stop me if this sounds familiar. I have another study here
Stop.
You should have stopped him at another.
that says a 4-day work week is a positive for everybody involved.
Well, there's no question to that. I don't think they need to do any more studies to figure that out.
Well, then why are we working 5 days a week?
Well, it doesn't mean everybody can do it, but I think if we just say 4 days a week is good.
It's a good thing. So I
They
think
need to move on to the next study that says 3 days a week or better.
that's smart thinking. Because if we start making 3 days a week
The
the
new
goal,
thing.
then 4 days a week is already, we might as well make 1 day a week the goal.
We'll give it time.
Yeah, if we make
It's
our
only a matter of time.
as workers, if we rise up and make our demands even more extreme, then when we actually get what we truly want,
Then we'll be
it'll
happy.
make it easier to get what we truly want.
Can you imagine, all right, well, we're here for the one show a week.
Uh-huh.
The one show.
Well,
the one day.
I don't want to. I'm here to say we could do a 4-day work week if we put our minds to it. And I just don't think that we've done that.
I think you have just too much faith in your employers. Nobody cares about your happiness. They don't
That's
care.
right.
If
But-
they cared about your happiness, we wouldn't work on Fridays. That's obvious. We can clearly get, and we wouldn't be here for 8 hours either, because you can clearly get all your work done faster than that too. But they want you to be here longer. You want to know why? For no reason.
For no reason.
For no reason.
upset. I believe what you're saying, but you know what employers do care about? The almighty dollar, the bottom line, productivity. And in this study, which, to be honest, is actually a continuation of a study that I believe we even addressed here on the show before, but it is a study that was conducted in the UK between the University of Cambridge and Boston College in the US. They worked together on this. A bunch of companies, restaurants, banks, all different kinds of companies, different styles, different industries were all testing out this 4-day work week. And they found that not only, obviously, again, employees' mental health, anxiety levels,
All gone.
it's all improved. Yeah, everything just across the board. Productivity, but that's the thing, though. They also found that as they continue on doing the 4-day work week, that employers also have been very happy with this, and a vast majority of them will continue to do
The
a 4-day work week in the future.
Well, let me give you the actual numbers.
Okay.
So at the halfway point, 46% of the companies that were part of this study said productivity remained about the same. 34% said they saw a slight improvement, and 15% reported a significant improvement.
That's meaningful, right? Mm-hmm. I don't hear a lot of people complaining, and that includes the bosses.
I just don't
situation.
think radio was in on this.
I don't think so either.
I don't think they brought anybody from any radio stations.
I don't think it is. I'm really starting to get worried about that part.
They're just excited, like we work 5 days, but it's barely. So
Yes.
What you aren't? I don't think you're really seeing. Like, you guys know Howard Stern, right? He doesn't even do 4-day work weeks. He does like
I don't think he does anything.
a month of work and then takes the rest of the year off.
You're right.
So don't say it can't work in radio. It totally can.
I mean, Hudson, yet again, we could be voice tracking this whole thing. Like, you know.
That's what I'm
we could
telling
do.
you.
Yeah, why don't we? Because they don't want us to.
He does one.
They don't care about us. What do you
one
want?
month, and it's like 6 months later. Like, well, he recorded it already.
We can pre-record this whole
nobody
thing.
would know.
Are we
Nobody
in here
would
right
know.
now?
This-
They don't
This
know.
could be pre-recorded.
Is this my true voice? we
Go
don't
ahead.
know.
Text in and see if we respond.
You are a
8772
chatbot.
Radio.
I know. Clearly, chatbot.
They said that 61 companies involved in the trial, 56 are continuing to implement the 4-day work week. 18 said the 4-day work week will become a permanent part of their structure.
Now that's what it all comes down to, right? A lot of them saying they're going to stick with the 4-day work week permanently, and so that's the bosses signing off, saying, you know what? Sure, my employees are happier. Am I happy about that? No, but Do I want to make more money, and is it more productive to do it this way? Yes.
So they said that nearly half the employees reported an improvement in their mental health, while 37% noted an improvement in their physical health.
Oh.
See,
They're stronger somehow. They're faster.
Holding us back. Holding us
More
back,
fit.
the company is.
Well, I don't know what to do with all this, so you're going to have to take it to the boss.
What about an alternative? How about this? What if we have 2 morning shows? And also, what if we each do 4 days? We could have a combined show 1 day a week.
Mm-hmm.
Or who says that a week has to be 7 days?
Sure.
Why don't we move to an 8-day week nationally, and then we could have 4 days on, 4 days off?
Yeah, you're
I
messing
don't know why
it all
you're
up.
talking about a 4-day work week. You have a 4-day work week this week, so you weren't even in on Monday.
And
How do you
look
feel
how much
today?
more productive
you
I
feeling
am.
good?
Uh-huh.
I bet you are.
Yeah, and the company doesn't want that for me.
Isaiah's mad
They
about you
don't.
taking a sick day.
Clearly.
Most people wouldn't want this clip played again, but Hudson and Isaiah aren't most people. The Riot's worst of 2023.
You ever you kiss on the first date?
Don't be trying to ask me questions like that.
It's a line that I feel like most people have like a thought in mind of whether they would or not, right?
Whether you would kiss on the first date or not?
Yeah, you
I
kind of.
guess it depends if you look at the person and you're like, are they cute?
I think if you're using like a dating app or
You
something,
feeling it?
like you make up your mind before you've made up your mind on whether you'd be open to it before the date ever starts.
Unless
Would
you
you
get
say?
unless you get surprised when you get there that they're not nearly as cute as
That's
you thought they
right.
would be.
If you get catfished,
Yeah.
it could be. But here's another question you have to ask yourself, apparently, before you go on a first date. Another line that might be crossed. Would you be open to having your pimple popped on the first date?
By the other person?
Uh-huh.
We're not doing that.
Somebody is.
What?
Somebody is. I've got a gal here. She's apparently a model in New York City. She's 20 years old. Had a Hinge date set up that everything was seeming to go so well. She got breakfast with the guy. They were walking through Central Park. Everything was going well. I mean, it sounds picturesque. Sounds real cute. But they got so comfortable that the guy eventually asked on this first date if he could pop the pimple on her forehead.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah,
That's a terrible move.
That feels like a double whammy, right?
Like, what are you thinking?
That's a double whammy because first of all, it's gross and painful. Second of all, you're pointing out that you noticed the big pimple
Yep.
on her forehead. You can't do that, right?
Because then when she says no, which I assume she obviously did,
Uh-huh.
then what's she thinking the rest of the time? She's
Yeah.
staring at this
I mean,
pimple on my forehead.
That's a make or break right there on the date. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got to be real sure that she's going to say yes, or that's the end of the date. Like where could the conversation even go from there?
Yeah, exactly. Like when she says no, then he's like, oh, okay. Like, what do you even do? What do you do from there?
Yeah, and then for her, like she says, this she calls it. She was violently humbled.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Yeah, because now, like, how could you even feel comfortable going on a first date again? You can't. Your last first date, notice the giant pimple on your forehead. How do you recover from that?
Yeah, you don't. When they say, can I pop that pimple, that makes you feel so self-conscious.
Uh-huh.
You probably were worried about it before the date anyway.
Yeah.
You were like, but then you were like, they probably won't even notice. Like, the other people don't notice nearly as much as you
Yeah.
notice about yourself.
Right.
And then you go on the date and he's like, can I pop that? That's going to need popped.
I don't want anybody to pop any of my pimples, whether they notice them or not. I'm less concerned with them noticing, but I don't want people touching them.
I don't want people on the first date asking about anything on my face that looks like an imperfection.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine if you had like a singular hair between like your eyebrows and they were like, you mind if I pluck that? You're like, you noticed? Really? You noticed that? Are you serious? So for
Yeah.
me, I don't think you need to do any of that.
Don't point out people's blemishes on a first date. That's, I mean, it could be, some might consider it a power move. I just consider it a jerk move, quite frankly.
Yeah, I think I think it's weird. I don't think he was doing it to be mean,
Uh-huh.
but I think it's just weird. I think
No,
you're a weirdo.
It's just got a weird thing. Just go.
But at the same time, the bunch of people on the internet think he's great for that.
Yeah. Pimple popper people.
They said, respectfully, this is a green flag. Keeper. He's the one. Where do you find guys like this? Please tell me you're talking / seeing him again. Like, what? For me, that's an automatic no.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess there should be a dating site just for pimple popper people.
Let this serve as inspiration to make better choices in the new year. The Riot's Worst of 2023.
Is there ever an excuse to not wash your hands after you go to the bathroom?
Like you're saying you should?
Yeah, you should wash your hands. I'm asking, is there ever an excuse to not clean up afterwards?
I don't think you have to. I'll be the one to say
You're
it.
just gonna say it?
Yeah, I'll be the one to say it. I don't think you have to.
What is the when are you off the hook for washing your hands?
My thing is always when you don't feel like it.
That's pretty broad.
I know. And
So
I
when
would
do
say,
you feel like it?
if I ever if there's a soap that tempts me,
Okay.
that all of a sudden I look over and I'm like, what does that smell like?
That's the only thing that gets you.
I think that we all know the majority of the time. Maybe in the women's restroom it's different,
Uh-huh.
but if you're at anywhere, men's restroom, a lot of times you guys are walking straight out.
Speak for yourself. I don't think. I mean, it's definitely true because the reason I bring it up is a recent survey of 1,500 people found that 26% of them do not wash their hands at music festivals.
26%?
Yeah.
Say they don't?
Yeah. Yeah. Over
Well, then
20%.
Way low.
Over a quarter of people, about a quarter of people don't wash their hands at music
I bet
festivals.
it's
Doesn't
over.
bother you?
It's probably over. I bet it's over 90%.
That can't be true.
When are you washing your hands? In the porta potty? You're
Yeah,
washing your hands?
They all have the little hand sanitizer in them, and that counts. And
that counts?
That definitely counts.
Okay, then I still think it's probably, if we're counting that hand sanitizer,
Yeah.
it's over 50% are not washing their hands.
Well, that's ridiculous. Why would you not? There's a hand sanitizer right there.
Just saying they don't.
It's so easy. Why? Yeah, but
I'm just
why?
being real with you.
What's the excuse?
Because they don't feel like it, Hudson. I'm just being real with you. I'm telling you, I'm spitting it straight.
Well, I don't feel like getting sick. I don't feel like catching.
I'm not saying it's right or
E.
wrong.
coli.
I'm
You
just telling
did
you the
say
truth.
it was right.
I don't think it matters. I'm being frank.
You said you don't have to if you don't feel like it.
You don't have to.
And they
You're a
don't feel
man.
like it.
Make your own decisions.
You gotta hand sanitize. It's
No,
not
you
that
don't.
hard.
You want to know why you don't? It's because I feel like I feel more sick than others, and I don't really wash my hands that often. I'll be real about it.
You've been complaining about being sick for days.
Yeah, these past couple of days.
Probably because you're not washing your
The
hands.
first time all year I've been sick, so did it really matter if you've washed your hands every day and I haven't washed mine at all? Clearly it doesn't matter.
Eventually, it's going to come back to bite you.
Yeah, we'll see.
Somehow, what you're about to hear is nowhere near as bad as Jim the dog's behavior this year. 2023's Worst of the Riot.
Big year.
And I think we've come far enough here, at least in the United States, that we wouldn't rate women on a scale of 1 to 10.
We would never.
No, it's
Have
demeaning.
we ever done that on the show?
No, absolutely not.
I feel like we've done that before, haven't we?
I'm sure that I haven't. But it's
Nikki probably did that.
yeah, that's right. That sounds like a Nikki thing. But I mean, yeah, of course you wouldn't. You wouldn't do that. It's demeaning, right?
That's what they say.
Reductive, objectifying. But I think it's okay to do that to men. So let's figure this out. I have a hypothesis I'm trying to test out here. And so I want to know which man is a perfect 10. I want, start
the most
thinking about
attractive
it.
guys you can think of, essentially.
Yeah. Who can be agreed upon as a perfect 10? As like a standard of like, this is what men, like the ideal man looks like.
Because for women, you can think of like a bunch. I think it's okay to rate women if you rate them a 10, right?
If you rate them all a 10, but then doesn't that just reduce the rating to meaning nothing?
Well, you don't have to rate them all a 10. Just you're only allowed to say the ones that are a 10.
Oh, okay.
Seems fair.
One way to look at it.
Margot Robbie.
Sure.
She's a 10.
All right. I mean, most people would say that. But see, that's the thing. I don't want to give up my hypothesis, but I do want to see who do people think is a perfect 10 of a man? Let's open up the Riot hotline for this.
877-2-RADIO-U.
Who is a perfect 10 of a man? Text into the show. We'll see who people are saying, and I'll give out my hypothesis coming up here in a few minutes as well. So start texting in your idea of a perfect 10 of a man.
Do you have a list? Do you have your list ready?
No.
I've got 4 picks.
You have 4 off the top of your head.
On the top of the dome, I've got 4
All right.
picks.
I'm ready to hear
I've already
this.
gotten.
Perfect 10 of a man. 8772 Radio U.
You're listening to the Riot's Worst of 2023.
Got a special guest on the show today.
Hey, Isaiah.
Hey, everybody.
Isaiah brought his son to work. Hey.
I did.
Hi, Jim. Woof, woof.
And he's a handful.
Jim the dog.
Happy birthday, Jim.
It's
It
his
is
birthday.
Jim's second birthday.
Wow. And you couldn't leave. You didn't find anybody to take care of him.
I could not. Isn't it wild? After 2 years, I still couldn't find anybody that wanted to hang out with him.
They've all
even on his birthday.
turned him down. Well,
Are you regretting that you brought him to work today? Is it just you have to get used to it?
I didn't really have a choice. It was like the first day I've had to bring him in.
Yeah.
Because my parents are out of town.
Uh-huh.
My roommate's going into work. My brother's fiance can't take him out. And so I'm like stuck with him. Even on his birthday.
Just Jim, cover your long years.
I know. And so I knew he was going to be a handful no matter what when I brought him in because he's Jim. So it was just like automatic. He's going to be causing issues.
He's gonna start pressing buttons, I think.
Oh, I know. He's ready to take
He's gonna
over.
turn the
Are
mics
you
off.
going to turn Radio off?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh my god.
He's ready
I
to take
wish-
the whole station down. It's
I wish
only
you
a
would
matter
bark.
of time.
Can you bark? Woof.
Does he bark much?
He doesn't really bark.
He doesn't bark. He just whines. I can
There's
hear
no,
him whine
there's
and
no
then you're
proof that
recording.
he's even here. Everyone listening on the radio, they're like, is the dog there or not? He's silent.
yeah.
I promise you, I'm taking pictures of him. I will post pictures soon so you can see Jim at work. And his little tail's so cute, just off in the other room where Isaiah normally is. I just see his tail in the background all the
Yeah,
time.
he's like it's like hard to like talk about him because he's just such a unique looking dog. 'Cause he's so like long and like hot dog like built.
His little feet, too, go
I
out.
know
Yeah.
he's a weird dog to look at. So you guys
Hi.
can check out the Worst of the Riot video podcast on Facebook and YouTube, and you can see what Jim looks like in the radio studio.
Aw, he fits. He can come every day.
It's nice that he just sits on your lap still.
He
like
does
that, though,
like-
for such a big boy.
Yeah, he does like just sitting on the lap. As long as I get him up in the air, he's pretty cool once we get up there.
Sniff in the mic. Can you sniff in the mic? There
He's
he
gonna start
That's
is.
eating
Jim.
it.
There you hear
He's gonna
Jim the
start eating
dog.
Oh, he's so cute.
Jim the Basset Hound.
All right,
And
we might have to rotate days where we bring in dogs each day.
yeah, we shouldn't have them all in at once. But Jim
No.
even got Jim. You got a birthday
I
present.
know. Nikki brought in
I
some
did.
treats for Jim.
Someone got a new toy and a football
Uh-huh.
cookie.
Jim has a new favorite toy now.
Oh.
It's his third toy of all time. He's so excited. He's a big toy guy.
I
gonna-
knew he liked rope, so I was like, well, maybe I'll bring him a new rope
Yeah.
toy.
You'll keep that until it
And I
disintegrates.
didn't know you were coming to work today, so this worked out perfectly.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
my
a big
gosh.
surprise to bring in Jim. So I planned it out last night because yet again I had no choice, and it was his birthday. I couldn't leave him at home alone like all day,
No.
sitting in his own pee. Like that would just be messed up.
So wait, what are the odds you think that he pees inside today?
See, I don't know. I would say probably 30%.
30%.
So it's not like it's.
I'll take the over on that.
And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's a tinkle. It's just a small little dog pee when
Yeah.
they get excited.
He's
I'm
gonna
just trying to keep him off
soil
carpet. That's my. I have a carpet cleaner just in case, and I will bring it in if he does pee on carpet. But I'm just trying to keep him off carpet.
Oh,
Well,
actually, that
make
doesn't sound so bad. Jim, can you pee on the carpet so that Isaiah steam cleans
A
it
little
for
bit
us?
everywhere. A little bit everywhere.
Just every room, if you don't mind.
That's why he's going to have to carry him the whole day.
Yeah, he's never gonna leave my side.
Well, make sure you text 8772 Radio U. And normally on birthdays, you guys can text, whoever's birthday it is.
Yeah.
So today is Jim's birthday,
Oh, yeah. What
and
about
he's
that?
here.
What about that birthday breakfast we were talking about?
Oh, do you want a birthday breakfast?
He's like, I do.
We'll order him some bacon.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right. This is turning out to be a good day.
It's a good day.
Well, Jim, buckle up. The Battle of the Buzz is coming in half an hour.
We need you to count votes.
Oh, he'll help me big time.
Worst of the Riot 2023.
Who is a perfect 10 of a man? We're talking looks here. Like, let's not get bogged down into the personality side of it. I think it's about looks, right?
Yeah,
That's what this is about.
that's what we're chit-chatting about.
And because that's what my hypothesis is about. And so here's some of the things people are saying. Regina, Paul Walker, remember him from the Fast and Furious movies?
Of course.
Unfortunately passed away. She says he was very attractive before he passed, and it turned out he was a very giving person, but didn't show it off. And she does say, character goes a long way in attraction for me.
As it should.
Yeah, it should. But you're kind of breaking the game. But he
What are you
was
talking
he was
about?
attractive though. He was
Yeah.
attractive. He was definitely an attractive guy. So that's a possibility of a perfect 10. Philip, this is it's not specific enough. He just says 007.
Oh, we're talking James Bond.
James Bond, but which one?
Oh, that's pretty obvious.
What is it?
Yeah.
Sean Connery?
Daniel Craig.
Actually, you know what? Could any James Bond be a perfect 10? Be considered a perfect 10?
I guess so.
Pierce Brosnan? He might be the most attractive of all Bonds.
Okay.
Yeah. And Jeffrey texted in Chuck Norris. Which is a wild choice. I've also got, but maybe in his heyday. I don't know. I've also got here Stephanie texting in Robert Pattinson. See, this is where I think it starts to get controversial.
What do you mean controversial?
Well, no, give yours. Let's give a few more, and then I'll explain.
I'm giving mine based off of what I've heard from women that I know.
Okay.
Right? And so I'd say I have one that's my personal.
See, I was going to go off
I've
of
got
what
one that's my personal
Yeah.
favorite, but there's 3 of them I'm going to give that I think are widely accepted perfect 10s. It might not be across the board.
Yeah.
Because that's the same thing for women. You know, there's a lot of people that may say someone's a perfect 10, other one's not. But here they are. Harry Styles.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that are going to agree with that.
Yeah.
Next.
Okay.
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, yeah. That's a good choice.
That's a good one, huh?
Wasn't he just named Sexiest Man Alive recently, I believe?
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan, it's a peak one.
Uh-huh.
And then this one is a little bit more obscure, I would say.
Okay.
I don't see this one as much, but I do get this a lot from girls that I know, which is Jack Harlow.
Really?
Yes, all the time, which is weird. It's
That's
a weird
tough
one.
one.
It's a hard one for me to understand because I don't feel that way, but a lot of girls I know do. And then my personal one, Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
I mean,
good-looking
come
guy.
on. He's a good-looking guy. He just seems cool. He just seems like a cool guy.
Yeah. See, some of the ones that jump to mind, and this is who I consider attractive, not who I think women consider attractive. I don't know. But Idris Elba. Come on.
He's got that old man good look. He's got that matured look.
And Jake Gyllenhaal, we mentioned on the show today. He's up there as well. I guess they're both older. But when I try to think of like a younger guy, like who's considered really attractive right now, that's younger, like Timothée Chalamet.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where the debate comes in, because I think for guys, typically, if you were to say a woman is a 10, another guy, almost all of them, the worst they would do is be like, yeah, like she's not a 10, but she's attractive, but she's not a 10. But for women and for like when you're rating men on a scale of 1 to 10, some people would say this guy's a 10. Timothée Chalamet, for example, but another person might say, no, he's like too much of a pretty boy or something. Like that's not attractive at all. He's a 6. Yeah, right. Like the range would be so much wider. I feel like there's not as much of an agreed upon. Yeah, you want the guy to be fit, but even then, there's like dad bods. I just feel like the standards are way higher for women. You know, like they have this one look they have to go for, where men, it's just not agreed upon. A
little bit of everybody's type, you know.
Yeah.
It's a little more spread out.
It's just not agreed upon is what my hypothesis is.
That's your hypothesis?
Yeah.
That a 10 to some woman might not be a 10 to everybody.
One woman's 10 is another man's, one man's trash is another man's treasure. For men, is what I'm saying.
Depends on the man.
Yeah. It depends on the judge.
What are we? We're 10s, huh?
Some might say.
2023's Worst. The Riot. RadioU.
Amazes me that people can get into fights at water parks. You'd think you'd be so happy there.
It's supposed to be a fun place, you know?
Yeah, fun in the sun. Everybody's just splashing, having a good time.
How could you get mad?
How could you be mad? How could you be in a bad mood? Well, I'll tell you, I have one woman here that was hanging out at Cedar Point Shores in Ohio, in Sandusky, Ohio. And she got into an altercation with a child. I don't know how old exactly the age of the child is, but it was a kid. It was a minor.
So we're thinking under the age of 12, maybe?
Gotta be, right?
I'm thinking like 10. Let's go with 10.
It's gotta be. Yeah, we'll just guess 10. We'll guess 10. And the problem is this woman was apparently 67, if I'm reading this right.
That's the problem?
Well, that's one of the problems. She's 67. What kind of 67-year-old woman is getting into a fight with a 10-year-old child?
That's true.
That's problem one right there. Secondly, she called the child a brat, called it fat. Also said some words you're not supposed to say. Besides
towards the child?
Yeah. In addition to those other ones that you're not supposed to say. And so So she got the police called on her. And that's all one thing. That's all. I mean, that's the worst of what she did. But she did more. She also, when the police were questioning her, she was like, I didn't say any of those things.
Do I look like the kind of woman that would say something like that?
Yeah.
Come on.
She went to that.
This is all hearsay.
She goes, I'm a Christian woman. I would never do that.
Oh, it's a load of barnacles.
And on top of all of it, we don't know if she was telling the truth about being a Christian woman. We have to call it into question because we do know that she lied about her name, her age. She lied about not having an ID. She basically lied about everything. So, just a wild woman right here.
That's crazy.
Getting into a fight with a child at a water park, and you're a grandmother.
It's not like it got physical either.
Yeah.
So she could have just soaked it. She could have been like, I yelled at the kid.
Yeah,
What, are you going to arrest me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I called him fat. What do you want from me? At what
Is that
age,
a crime?
At what age can you call a child fat?
If it's child, I don't think you can ever.
What if it's your
I don't
own?
think you can do it to a person,
What if it's your own?
to an adult. Your own. I think that makes it worse, doesn't it?
I think it's worse if it's a stranger. I think if you're a 67-year-old woman
Yeah.
and you look at a kid at a water park and call him fat, that's messed up.
She's a bully.
That's messed up.
She's a 67-year-old bully.
But you know how funny, I'm just saying, you know how funny it'd be to be there at the water park to see this go down?
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing better than being able to watch chaos ensue just far enough away to where it doesn't affect you. Like,
Yeah.
I would have loved to see the 10-year-old and this woman just going back and forth. I hope he called her names too.
He had to have some good insults, right? Loaded up 10-year-old.
Way easier to roast.
I mean, he could have just channeled Pee-wee right there. I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I hope that it was going back and forth. We don't have any word on what the child said.
Yeah.
Maybe he was being a
Because
brat.
it's okay for a 10-year-old to say who knows what, but for a 67-year-old grandmother who claims to be a Christian woman
What
to
if
be...
he was being bad, though, you know? How
Then-
bad would he have to be? What would he have to do?
What could he possibly have
That's what I'm
done
thinking.
to have a stranger that's a grandma yelling at him?
Maybe he was splashing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this much. If you splashed me at the water park and I didn't want to be splashed,
Yeah.
I could be pretty ruthless.
Oh, yeah. Nobody wants that.
I'm not going to call a 10-year-old fat, but I might be mean to him.
It does
from
kind of.
afar.
It kind of comes with the territory, though.
Yeah,
What do you
but
think?
it
When you
sounds
come
like
to
this
water
wasn't-
park, you think you're not going to get wet?
Yeah, that's true.
Although 67-year-olds, I don't think they like getting wet.
Maybe she was trying to relax in the lazy river.
Yeah.
He was being a little bit rambunctious.
Yeah. And so call him a brat.
I guess so.
Yeah.
2023's Worst, The Riot, Radio U.
What would you do in this situation? Let's say your employer overpaid you by 367 times what you normally would get paid. I don't even know
I'd be rich.
what percent that would be.
I'd be rich
Yeah, that's right.
until they found out.
Yeah, exactly. And so then what do you do when they find out? Let me tell you the story. This happened to a man from Hungary who actually, he was working in Hungary. He provided them with an Austrian bank account. And so the reason, the way that he wound up getting paid so much more than what he actually was owed is because they made an error converting. In Austria, they use euros. In Hungary, they use something called forints. And so the conversion rate wound up being like 1 forint for every 367 euros or vice versa. I don't know. And so he wound up getting paid the amount in euros that he should have got paid in forints, which was a lot. Now, here's the little wrinkle. Here's the little wrinkle is that he was actually like, this was his only paycheck. He got one paycheck, and that's because he got fired. He didn't make it through his trial period.
Oh, so they only paid him once, and they
paid
said,
him-
"You're done.
They paid him one time.
I'm out of here."
That was his only paycheck. So he wasn't supposed to get paid very much at all. It was only supposed to be like $260. But because of the conversion rate, and then this was his only paycheck, so he was already he was gone.
Dang.
And
So he has no loyalty to them whatsoever.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking. Because for me, right, if Radio U, who I love and support, if RadioU overpaid me by a meaningful margin, I'd probably raise my hand and say, you know what, I don't want to lose my job. I could, eventually I'm going to get found out and caught anyways, right? So
Likely story.
let me give this money back, or you could just let me keep it temporarily, like a loan. You don't have to pay me for a while. I think that would also be that'd be a nice little trade-off, don't you think?
Hudson's lying through his teeth. He wouldn't say a word.
I would. I'm a
He
very
would not
honest
say a
individual,
word.
very honest and trustworthy. But if it's a company that's done you dirty, they fired you in your 2-week trial period, then I might start thinking about skipping town.
But the best thing to do, what do you think is better to do? To just keep the money? Or to spend the money?
Or just withdraw it as cash.
Ooh, withdraw as cash might not be a bad idea either.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people would say spend the money, but I don't think that's a good idea. Because if you spend it all, then if it comes down to it and you have to pay them back, then you're going to end up actually spending that money.
Yeah, you're actually going to be down money.
Yeah, you're going to be down.
Because you do have to pay them back in time, and you're not going to be able to sell back the stuff you bought.
So I think the best way to do it is either withdraw as cash and say oh, it's gone. And then if you have to pay back, then you can just pay him back in cash, or you just invest it all. That could be the other way to do it.
That's right.
To add oh no, I already spent it, but in reality you invested it. That way, if they try to ask for it back, you can just pull it out.
Invest it in Bitcoin or something.
Not in Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin.
You pull it out of the stocks and you give it back to them.
Now, here's the other thing I thought is, so he wound up getting paid what I believe amounts to about $90,000. How much would you have to get paid? What accidentally paid? Because again, you're going to get found out eventually. It's pretty easy to figure out. But what if you skip town, as in flee the country?
Oh, I'm out of here.
Flee to a country. How much do you have to get paid accidentally to flee the country and never look back? I mean, you can't live off of $90,000.
No,
for
that wouldn't be
long.
enough.
That's 2-3 years, maybe.
That would not be enough.
If you live pretty meagerly. So
you had to pay me a lot to skip town, to move to a whole new country.
You think 500,000?
Ooh, that's a lot.
Is that starting to get into territory?
Now
where
you're starting to tease me a little.
You're half a millionaire.
I feel like that would be closer.
Yeah, I'd love to find out.
Me too.
I'd love to find out in a real world scenario.
The good news is the Riot is on vacation now. The bad news is that doesn't mean you get a break from them. This is the Riot's Worst of 2023.
This is horrible broadcasting. I could have just totally pulled an audible on you guys, but nobody else would have to know.
No, think of yourself as the conductor, however you want to steer this.
That's right. I did just watch Tar. That Rooster reminded me.
I meant a train conductor.
Oh, okay. Nikki, I think you might have some special actually, both of you might. Isaiah, you used to be a farmer. Nikki, you used to live next to neighbors that had chickens, right?
No, I mean, I'm in the suburbs.
Yeah, but didn't you have a chicken neighbor?
No, he had pheasants. I thought they were chickens, but they were pheasants, but they were illegal to have in our area.
See, that's what I want to ask you about.
Mm-hmm.
I told the story a while back where I almost missed coming into the show because my alarm, either I turned it off or slept through it or something, and then I was awoken by a rooster.
Yes.
Even though I live in a town.
Was it a real rooster or was it in your mind?
No, it was a rooster.
You were dreaming it?
Because I've heard it. I've heard it many times since then.
So someone has a rooster in your area?
Someone has a rooster, and I didn't realize, but I heard it the other day. There's not just one rooster.
Mm-hmm.
There's other chickens because I heard them clucking.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
It depends on the rules for your community.
What do I do?
Go to your Nextdoor app and just post it.
That's what I thought at first, but then that's just going to get people arguing, and it's not going to get me anywhere.
Well,
I know what most people would do is that.
You have to decide because someone's going to have to tattle, and for mine, I didn't tattle on my neighbor, but he thought we did. But it was his other side who told on him, and this guy does infraction after infraction of things you're not allowed to do in our community, like bylaws and stuff. So, but yeah, you can't. In most areas, you're not allowed to have that.
That's right. That's what I'm thinking is I didn't move out in the boondocks. I moved away from that. I don't want to have to hear And I know this might sound,
That sounds ridiculous.
this might make me sound a little.
I don't want to have to hear a chicken clucking next door.
I don't live.
Unless-
Like
that
what?
your
They don't want to hear
Popeyes?
your dog barking all day, every day either.
That's what you sign up for when you go to a
barking
city.
at the chicken.
Yeah, clearly it must be.
I think she does, and it's illegal to have a dog.
Yeah.
So what
How
would you
many
do
chickens?
if one of your neighbors starts a chicken coop?
Yeah.
And you start hearing them. I mean, the rooster, clearly, our show starts early, and the rooster was crowing before that.
No, but a lot of times you're going to find it's this. It's like some neighbor who doesn't live in your community, but like lives in the one piece of land that never sold.
Yep.
So like they're allowed
that
to
property, yeah.
because they own that property and they can have
From like
something.
back in like the olden
Handed
days.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You live in the community, which
don't-
means you can't have
I don't
it.
even know who I would complain to. That's the thing.
Do you know who it is that has them?
No, I have an idea because
In a
they.
general direction?
I think it's the neighbors that just built like a big fence so that you can't see what they're doing in their
yeah,
yard.
Ah, makes sense.
But like, it's not just about the clucking, right? Like, obviously, the clucking and the crowing is ridiculous. And again, like dogs barking, I hear other dogs barking all the time as well. That doesn't even faze me. I hear a rooster crowing, and I'm like, well, this is out of place. This is a bother to me. But that's not the only problem, right? They get like chickens are dirty.
I think
chickens are gross.
I think it's mostly just for the health thing because
Right.
everybody's so closer together in a subdivision. And so they don't have, even like the chickens don't have the proper space to be okay.
Yeah.
So you have to have a bigger land to be able to take care of them. So I think that's just why.
So you think I can complain
You should, yeah.
to somebody?
I think you should not complain.
Hey,
What do I call
and
the police?
You should also check the height on their fence.
Yes, might be a little too high.
It could be there.
That's right. If there was a
Start
sitcom,
digging them for everything.
if this was a sitcom situation, that's definitely what would happen. Is I can't for some reason the chickens are legal, but I find some other legal loophole.
You find something else.
to get the HOA involved, even though I don't have an HOA.
Yeah, you can. You
Yeah.
can find something, or
Then what if maybe it's I live like right at the county line? You think that could be a part of it? I think they're on the same side as me, but like, what if they straddle it or
No,
something?
well, honestly, a lot of people just, I think during the times where now, especially when eggs were so expensive,
Yeah,
they're like,
that's
well,
right.
Gonna
These
grab
people
a
were
couple of
ahead of that
chickens.
game.
They're probably working from home
Yes,
too now, so they
they
have
have
more
time.
time. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a brilliant tie-in. Did you see what we're talking about next? What we were supposed to be talking about here?
What?
Working from home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you want to do that next?
Yeah, that's what.
All right, let's do that next.
And if you own chickens,
If you have chicken advice for me,
Hudson's coming for you.
yeah, 8772 RadioU.
My neighbor was dealt with.
Let this serve as inspiration to make better choices in the new year. The Riot's Worst of 2023.
I've got a woman here going viral on TikTok. She's caused quite the debate over her reason for dipping out on a date. It was a red flag that she considered an instant emergency. She had to leave. She went into the guy's bathroom. He had invited her over. And what she found in the shower, 17 bottles of herbal essences.
All the same flavor too.
Shampoo and conditioner. Yeah. Yeah. So she said that's a major red flag. I got to fake a family emergency and dip. That's the end of that. People are debating whether that was fair or foul for her to just run on out of there like that. What is your call?
See, I'm not familiar with herbal essences shampoo
Does that make a difference?
because I feel like, well, then why would she get out of there? Is it like a weird brand of shampoo or something, or is it just all the bottles?
I think it doesn't matter what brand. The brand doesn't matter as much as that there's 17 of them.
Yeah, that is odd.
It's a lot of shampoo to have. Why do you need that much? I thought at first before, like I saw the headline and I was like, oh, so he never throws out the empty bottles because I know some people that I might be married to that do that. But, but he has like 17 full bottles, which I don't know if that's better or worse.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, though, you know that he's washing his hair.
That's right. Or
Yes.
is he? Because they're all
Well, he wouldn't have so many
full.
bottles. He wouldn't take it. Like, if he wasn't washing, he just wouldn't have shampoo in general. He's got plenty of shampoo. And there's a lot of them that are pretty empty there.
I mean, he's set for life on those.
for a long time.
Yeah. They're also, I don't know. Is that end of date worthy though? You've already gotten to the stage where you're coming over to their house.
No, it's not end of date worthy. I think there's no reason to leave because of that.
Is it questionable at least though?
When I think about it though, because I think about my day-to-day life,
Yeah.
I think maybe, what about this is like his mom? His mom, like for everything that you think of, because my mom kind of does this.
Yeah.
For every like occasion, she like buys you like a small gift.
Uh-huh.
And especially with like shampoo, hand soap, anything that's
Yeah.
like cleanliness. Like my mom would just show up like, oh, I have deodorant, and like just randomly give me things like that.
Yeah.
And so maybe every time his mom sees him, she just hands him a bottle of shampoo.
That's definitely possible. Yeah, he could be getting it. I think that's a pretty reasonable explanation actually. Since it's always like the same brand.
Yes.
Why would he keep rebuying it when
Because he knows how much he has.
Right.
His mom doesn't know how much he has in there.
Some others say another explanation could be that he bought it at like Costco. And still, I mean, they don't sell 17 bottles at Costco. They would sell like 4, right?
And you would open them one at a time. It's kind of weird that he keeps on using different
think
ones.
Stash it under the sink. So, yeah, I don't think it's end of day worthy.
You don't
either.
dip the date because this man likes to wash his hair.
Right.
No matter if he has 17 bottles or 2.
I think that's. I think she got at her jump to conclusions, Matt, on this one. That she thinks it's weird. I mean, it is weird, but it's not like red flag weird.
No, and it's such an easy fix too. Like if you were to date this guy, you'd just be like, throw away the shampoo. We're not doing that.
It's easily addressed. Like, I wouldn't even feel bad to ask him.
On the first date, I would have asked.
Yeah, right.
I would have walked back out and been like, what's up with all the shampoo?
Yeah. I don't get it. I think she's gonna have a hard time finding a match if she's running out for this.
Somehow, what you're about to hear is nowhere near as bad as Jim the dog's behavior this year. 2023's Worst of the Riot.
Would you rather Wednesday? The question is, would you rather have free food at your disposal? You could go to your favorite fast food restaurant anytime for an entire year and just get whatever you wanted for free. Or would you rather be able to go to your least favorite fast food restaurant, but get anything you wanted there for free for the rest of your life until the day you die? Which would you choose? We got some text coming in here. Justin says that nothing could be better than free Fazoli's for a year, so he's going with that.
Oh, Fazoli's.
That's a surprising choice for a favorite fast food, but
they give you unlimited breadsticks forever.
yeah, bottomless.
Bottomless.
And their breadsticks are good.
They are good.
I would never imagine that. Again, it caught me totally off guard that would be somebody's favorite fast food place, but the breadsticks there's something to write home
They're
about.
fire.
That's for sure. Ben in Marysville, listen to this. Ben says, I would go with the least favorite fast food restaurant for life because regardless of what fast food restaurant that is, that's free fountain drinks for life. All the soda you could handle.
Smart.
That is smart. That is smart.
I like the way you're thinking, Ben.
And Tim says his favorite is Swenson's. He doesn't like fish, so his least favorite is Long John Silver's. He'd take Swenson's for a year over Long John's for life. But I mean, if you don't like fish at all, that'd be kind of crazy to pick Long John Silver's.
Long John's would be tough, yeah.
All right, what are you going with?
I'm going with my least favorite for life, no doubt in my mind.
And which one would that be? I have something in mind. Long John's.
Long John. I mean, there's not one that really sticks out. It's like my least favorite, but
It's
I mean,
tough morning for Long John Silver's.
Long John
though.
Silver's. It's not even bad. I don't even not like Long John's. I mean, I will eat Hush Puppies forever. Like, that's what I'm choosing. Or Taco Bell would be up there for me. Taco Bell might actually be at the top.
You liked our food fight we did last week.
Yeah,
though.
I'm not saying I hate it.
Yeah,
it's just my least favorite.
Which is
I
a
would
good
never
sign
pick-
if you got it for a year
Yeah,
or for life.
I would never pick to go there, ever. But that would be one of the choices for me. So I'm definitely going for life. Just the monetary benefits.
Yeah.
I mean, free food forever. That's crazy. And think about if you have kids, you could just like custom them to just eating whatever it is all the time.
That's right. And then it would be it
Their
might be their
favorite.
favorite, or they might get tired of it. Just
Well,
like your
too
mom
bad.
always made that one meal every week, and you're like, oh, this again. That might be your least favorite fast food restaurant for your kids. I think, here's what I thought. It doesn't matter what my favorite fast food place is. There's a lot I like. But my least favorite, I had a fairly easy time choosing, would be Subway. And the reason I think that is because Subway doesn't tempt me. Even other places I don't normally choose, like Burger King. Sometimes I'll see something on the menu and be like, oh, maybe I should go to Burger King. That never happens at Subway. That means it's my least favorite. But I'd still choose that because I don't think Subway's the worst. And then, like, think about it. If it doesn't tempt me, that means I'm not going to be going there every single day eating something that's bad for me. You know what I mean?
You should.
If it was McDonald's for a year, who knows what weight I would be if I had free McDonald's? Because I'd be dumb not to eat there all the time.
And the benefits of having your favorite for a year, I think, are so low. Like, yes, you're gonna cut down the cost of that 1 year of your life, but you're gonna spend it right back the next year.
Yeah, for sure. So,
like, obviously, you'd save you some money, but the benefits of having life, and then think about this too: you could treat everyone you know.
Oh yeah.
Think about how great of a friend you'd be when every time you go to Long John Silver's, you're like, boys, it's on me.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys want to get dinner tonight? On me?
You'd be a prince.
Let's head to Taco Bell. It's on me tonight, boys. Don't even worry about it.
You'd have to really hate a fast food place to not choose free fast food for life from somewhere.
The good news is the Riot is on vacation now. The bad news is that doesn't mean you get a break from them. This is the Riot's worst of 2023.
Would you view being able to work from home as equal to a raise?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I would not.
You don't think it's the same thing?
I don't think it's the same at all.
Even, what if I gave like a number? Like, would you rather be able to work from home or like a 5% raise? You'd still take the raise?
I'd take the raise, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 5%, that's like, carry the one, like that would add up over the course of a year or two. And, but you're in the minority. A majority of workers view the option to work from home, the flexibility, as equal to they added it up as an 8% raise.
An 8% raise?
Yeah, where if you gave workers the option, that's where it starts to even out of raise or work from home. It's tough to say, but you go below 8% and people are saying, I think I'd actually take the work from home option these days.
I guess, for some people, money isn't everything. I think it also depends how much you make.
Yeah. 8% on a small salary isn't that much. But if you're making like six figures and then it's an 8% raise, that starts to add up pretty quick. I think here's what I've realized about the work from home thing, right? Obviously it's a big benefit. You save time because you don't have to go back and forth to the office. Maybe you feel a little less pressure at work, a little less stress because you're doing it in an environment you're more comfortable in at home. And quite frankly, maybe you're just doing a little less work. And those are all benefits. But think about this benefit from the work from home perspective that I think is often left out. And that is the freedom that comes with it. If you can work from home, in some instances, in many instances, you can kind of set your own hours. It gives you, even though you're not your own boss, it gives you more of the opportunity to be your own boss. And people love that. And part of the problem with work is, it's not that I hate working. I don't mind the job. It's when work, you have to schedule your entire life around work, right?
You do.
But if you work from home, all of a sudden, you're kind of scheduling work around your life. It gives you more freedom to sleep in one day, to go run errands at this time, and do a doctor's appointment at this time, to do all these different things. It gives you a lot of freedom. I don't think that's calculated in a lot of the time.
But I think at the same time, that same freedom can get really annoying. Because you're going to end up, the thing about working the 9 to 5 or the 8 to 5 or whatever your typical hours are in office is at 5 o'clock, you will be doing no more work.
Yeah, that is nice.
There's times when I know friends of mine, because you talk about people doing less work at home, there's times I know the friends of mine who have taken it real easy on a Monday or taken it real easy on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and then all of a sudden, Sunday night rolls around or Saturday night rolls around, and they're like, I have so much work to do that I didn't do this week that I have to work today. Which that's the worst part. Is
That's
when you
a tough
push stuff
part.
when you push stuff off, when you work from home, and then all of a sudden on Sunday night, you have to do work, and that's the worst part.
Yeah, and some people benefit a lot from routine too. So maybe the grass isn't always greener. If you're wishing for work from home, there's a lot of reasons why it might not be all it's cracked up to be. But then again, I mean, at the end of the day, you're still at home. And isn't that what we want?
I would rather have a raise every time. But I don't think it's an either or, though. I don't think it's an either or. If your boss says, I'm not going to give you a raise, you get to work from home, I would say that it makes no sense if I deserve a raise. If I'm doing the same work from home that I'm doing in the office, why wouldn't I get the raise?
Well, I think it'd be good to have the option. But I also think, wouldn't it be, and I mean, don't think I'm the first to bring this up. Wouldn't it be cheaper? If the choice is raise or work from home, it'd be cheaper for the employer to just be like, yeah, work from home. Save us money.
Yeah, but if you can work from home, why can't you work from home anyway?
And for us,
get a raise.
it might come down to money. For the employer, it always comes down to the almighty dollar.
They want to have you in the office making as little money as possible.
That's right.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.